What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to be talking about some of the major developments going on in the Triangle area. This is a question I get all the time. People will be driving around, they'll shoot me a picture and they'll say, hey, what's going on here? So I'm going to answer some of those questions today. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so we're going to talk about 7 projects that are going on around the area. These are major redevelopments. These aren't housing necessarily. These are some of the major projects in the area: commercial, office, mixed use. So we're going to be talking about some of the biggest players in the area, some of the biggest developers. And these are landscapes that are going to completely change the skyline and the feel of Raleigh. The first one that we're going to talk about is the Exchange Raleigh, which is located in Midtown. Midtown is where North Hills is. I'm a Raleigh native. I don't really know how the word Midtown came about, but apparently I think it was Cary Realty who came up with it to kind of rebrand North Hills and think of it as like a uptown Charlotte or another kind of downtown Raleigh. So we're gonna head to Midtown, and at Midtown, the Exchange Raleigh is a brand new set of buildings that's coming to life. The Exchange is on 40 acres in Midtown, and it's being developed by DeWitt Carolinas. This is a local developer. They've been working on this project for years, and it is a very cool project. Kind of the anchor highlight of this project is they're building 2 towers that are 12 stories each, but they're gonna be connected by a 2-story skyline walk. And so you're gonna be able to walk between both buildings, and then just imagine the views that you're gonna get from that skyline walk. It is gonna be really, really cool. They've already opened the first building, and so that building has been leased and occupied, and they've done a really good job. Of course, as you probably know, leasing office space in the current and work from home environment has not been one of the easiest things to do. But because of this kind of building, this is where companies want to lease space. They want to be in a space that's up and coming, that has restaurants and walkability, and the Exchange has that. And so they did really well with their office leasing, and now they're gonna start on that second tower. So again, they finished the first one, they're gonna start on the second, and they're gonna be connected by that skyline walk. So a really cool concept that we haven't necessarily seen in the Raleigh area. At the Exchange Raleigh, there's about 790,000 square feet of Class A office space. They have a ton of really cool features, including a water feature that's never been seen in Raleigh before. And they're building a 4-acre central park there. Again, these are the kinds of things that companies are looking for as they go to lease office space. Upon completion too, the Exchange is going to have about 1,300 residential units, a 300-room hotel, and over 125,000 square feet of retail and dining spaces. There's some really cool restaurants that were recently announced there. They've got a great coffee shop there already called The Optimist, which was kind of located in a small Brookside neighborhood in Raleigh, which is a really quaint part of town, and they opened a second one here at the Exchange. Again, that's what developers are doing. They're going to find these cool local coffee shops, cool local restaurants, and bringing them into their development because they know that that's what's going to get companies to lease space at their office buildings, and that's what companies need to be able to get employees to come to those office buildings. So the Exchange is a really cool place, up and coming in the Midtown area next to North Hills, and is going to be kind of a highlight building for Raleigh for many years to come. All right, next let's head into downtown Raleigh, and we're going over to the Warehouse District. So the Warehouse District has been one of the parts of Raleigh that has probably seen the most investment over the recent years. There's been a ton of rezonings in the area, a ton of development there, and right now they have one of the biggest developments in all of Raleigh happening. That's where the $300 million RUS Bus project is taking place right now. And it's not just your average transit hub, right? It's a state-of-the-art facility that's about halfway complete right now and is going to serve as a major transportation center for the city of Raleigh. And this is really important because right now the city of Raleigh really doesn't do a great job at public transportation. We have a bus system, it's not used very much, but they have recently introduced and are starting construction on bus rapid transit transit system. Think of this as like a subway, but just a bus, right? So what they're doing is they're building these lanes in the middle of roads where they're gonna be bus lanes only, and those bus lanes are gonna have access to be able to move a lot faster and get through the city faster. There's also gonna be a ton of connectivity that comes with that. Of course, this isn't gonna happen next week. It's gonna take years to happen, but they've started on the first phase of that BRT project, and the RUS Bus at the warehouse district is a huge component to this, which is gonna serve as the hub. Right next to the RUS Bus hub is the Union West development, which is going to bring a 23-story tower to the warehouse district as well. In that building, you're gonna have 385 apartments, 20,000 square feet of retail space, and they're expecting construction to start in 2025 as soon as the RUS Bus facility opens. It's also gonna continue to bring investment into the warehouse district. John Kane Realty really got that area started a few years ago with their building called the Dillon. They've got apartments and office space there, a rooftop restaurant, which is really cool. And they even have one of the few grocery stores in downtown Raleigh called Weaver Street Market. So really cool place to be, really cool place to live in the area. And there's just a ton going on there. The $300 million RUS Bus project is a major transformation for the city of Raleigh. Also happening in the warehouse district is the Mave. So this is a sleek 20-story tower that's going to feature 297 high-end apartments, 10,000 square feet of retail space, and an impressive 8-level parking deck. And trust me, we need more parking in the city of Raleigh. This is going to open in early 2025, and it's going to be another great place for folks to be able to live. Again, these are only rental opportunities. Everything that I'm talking about today, none of this is for sale. So if you want to live somewhere and own in downtown Raleigh, reach out to us today. We can talk to you about those opportunities. But the Mave will add to a growing collection of mixed-use projects in the area where they're really combining all of the three important components: office, retail, and residential together. Also over in the warehouse district, we need to talk about Kane Realty's West End project. This is located on the site of the former Clancy & Thays construction headquarters. Clancy & Thays is a huge construction company in the area. They sold this site to Kane Realty and have partnered together to really revamp this part of town. The first phase of the West End project is going to be a 7-story tower that's going to open in 2026 with 252 apartments and 4,000 square feet of retail, and is key to Kane's vision of revitalizing the warehouse district area. Kane also just opened an apartment building called The Platform, another mixed-use facility with 430 apartments and 26,000 square feet of retail space. That's open today. You can move in there right now, and they have businesses like Homebody Yoga and Wellness lined up there already, and more to come in the future. Let's head over to Dix Park. Dix is Raleigh's best opportunity for redevelopment right now, and is one of the areas that is going to see transformational growth over the coming years. This is a part of town that hasn't seen much development, but is really starting to ramp up and is a great opportunity for the city of Raleigh. If you want to know more about Dix Park, you can watch our video that we'll link below in the comments that tells you all about the changes coming to Dix Park. But specifically for redevelopment and projects coming online near Dix Park, right now the biggest one is the Weld. The Weld is a $700 million project that is going to have 3 20-story towers combined to it. They've already started on 2 of the buildings, and the 3rd will be coming, and it's going to offer about 1,200 apartments and 20,000 square feet of retail space. This is a part of town that hasn't necessarily seen this type of growth, and definitely has not seen office space in the area. But as Dix Park continues to expand and gets built out, this is where people are going to want to live. The Weld is being developed by John Kane's son, and across the street, Kane Realty is opening some more apartments called the Rockaway, and they're opening one of the best bagel shops in Raleigh. Benchwarmer Bagels is going to be opening in the Rockaway. And again, this is a part of town that doesn't have many restaurants, doesn't have a ton of convenience to get to, but is going to really start to see a revamping of that area and going to see opportunities like that they haven't seen over the years. Now let's go to an area that really has not seen development in many years, and definitely is not a place where people have wanted to hang out before, but soon will be. We're talking about RTP. RTP is Research Research Triangle Park. This is a part of town where, again, especially pre-COVID, people would drive to, and it's just office buildings everywhere. There was nowhere to live, there was nowhere to eat, you had to drive into Morrisville, and of course, COVID changed everything for folks when they consider an office. As we've talked about before, they want places where they can go to work, go grab a bite to eat, and even live nearby. They don't want to have to travel 30, 45 minutes to get to the office. So, RTP is changing that with the Hub RTP. This is a $1 billion development that will change the entire face of Research Triangle Park. They have plans for another 1 million square feet of office space, 1,200 residential units, 75,000 square feet of retail space, a 250-room hotel, and is really going to bring that live, work, play environment to RTP that they've never seen before. In fact, I saw that they just recently announced a beautiful steakhouse that's going to open there called Prime Steak. It's going to be opened by one of Raleigh's best barbecue restaurants, Prime Barbecue, over in Nightdale. Is going to be opening a steakhouse there. Again, what we're seeing, developers are going to find the local guys, the guys who are doing really beautiful things in the city and bringing them into their development and helping them create even better space for people who want to be there. Hub RTP is definitely going to be a game changer. They're going to have cutting edge office space for the tech sector and also the lifestyle amenities that people just have to have if they're going to come to the office now. It's going to bring even more businesses to our area and is going to really attract talent from all over the country, which is so important to the continued growth of Raleigh. All right, let's head over to Durham. Durham is definitely seeing a ton of development going on, but the biggest one is definitely the Novus Tower. The Novus is a 27-story mixed-use building that's nearing completion and will be one of Durham's tallest structures when it's complete. They're gonna have 188 apartments, 54 very expensive condos, many of which are already sold, which is very impressive, and 22,000 square feet of retail space. That's an important note for the Novus. As we talked about in Raleigh, there's really no condos for sale in any of these high-rise buildings that are coming online. Durham is one of the few places with the Novus where you can find a high-rise building with for sale units in it. So if you're wanting that kind of lifestyle, there are buildings in Raleigh that have it. They're just not new. The Novus is a place where you can find that right now. But the Novus is definitely going to change the skyline of Durham and continue to contribute to the city's growth. Last but not least, we of course have to talk about some of the smaller towns because they are seeing growth as well. Over in Apex, we're going to see Vidia. This is a project that has been in the works for many years and is finally coming to fruition. This is a $3 billion, yes, billion with a B, project that's going to span over 1,200 acres. It's going to bring 8,000 residential units to the Apex area, 3.5 million square feet of retail and hospitality space, and over 12 million square feet of commercial space, including office space for life sciences and industrial areas. It is a huge, ambitious project. And again, not only are they building like a new community, they're literally building like a new town within Apex. This is a project that's been in works, like I said, for so long and is gonna take years to fully build out. But it will completely change the landscape and the area of Apex, which has already seen so much growth over the past 10 years. And last but not least, one of our favorite areas in all of the Triangle, downtown Cary. As we've talked about many times on this channel, downtown Cary has seen transformational growth over the past couple of years with the opening of the downtown park, more apartment buildings coming online, and there's even more coming. So we're talking about the Meridian East Chatham and the Meridian Cary that are going to be opening here in the next few months in 2025 in downtown Cary. Both of these are apartment buildings with office space. There's going to be some parking available at these, which is much needed in downtown Cary right now. These developments are being completed by local developers who live in downtown Cary, who work in the downtown Cary area, and have brought so much to life for downtown Cary. Now, again, as we've talked about before, not everybody's excited about these. They're concerned about the traffic and congestion that they're going to bring to the downtown Cary area, which is already very congested. But it's important to note that this is a long time project. There's a long timeline on these. It's not going to happen immediately, but the growth that is there now, Development will follow, and it will ease congestion, and it will allow for parking. It just takes time and it takes years to get there. So I hope that people will be patient, because downtown Cary is a beautiful place and will continue to be a beautiful place to live and work and play. And we just need to be patient with its growth, because it is happening quickly and, quite frankly, probably a lot quicker than many folks expected. All right, we talked about some of the biggest developments happening in the Triangle area. I'm curious, which ones are you excited about? Which ones are you not excited about? Leave us a comment below and let us know which ones you do like and which ones you don't like. And by the way, if you're thinking of moving to the Triangle area in the next 9 to 90 days, drop us a text or shoot us an email. People ask us questions about the area all the time. Happy to help, and happy to help you discover where's going to be the right fit for you and your needs. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.